now I'm starting the recording. Anyway, are you all prepared, my duckies?
No.
Well, as prepared as we can get.
What do you mean, no?
Oh, I just like being a dick.
So, you both know the prompt. You both have your characters. Do you want to start off with an introduction, character introduction to each other? And to me, since I've only lightly read over this stuff.
How about you set the scene of where we are first?
I think I can do that better when I know what you might be doing.
But we know what we might be doing based on how the scene is set.
Yeah,
right.
that's kind of the problem.
You know what? That's a valid point. You make a good point. So I guess, since we're at an impasse, the best place to start would be...
Is at the end. Alright.
And everyone! Woo! Yes, baby! That was incredible! Great acting on everybody!
We're heading out.
Yeah, it's time for the recording!
Party!
Woo! Happy party! Sorry you couldn't be here, Jade! Woo! So, anyway, as you're both aware, you are Eladrin, you live in the Feywilds, and you serve under the King and Queen of all Eladrin, Oberon and Titania. So, you know that today, not too uncommon, a friend of Oberon and Titania's is coming to visit. However, you personally do not know this person very well, and they tend to be mysterious. Usually wearing heavy robes, and though they speak very vocally, you wouldn't be able to identify them due to the nature of their secrecy. So, in this early morning, Titania and Oberon have both gone to your quarters, wherever those may be situated, in kind of the grounds that constitutes what would be the capital of Eladrin civilization, though in and of itself is not like other civilizations' capitals. It's very open. What could be constituted as a castle is more open rooms, living wood and stone, rather than a building or hewn structure. Very more naturalistic. What nature provides for structure is what the Eladrin will typically use. And they have come to you both. It could be separately, whichever one you would think would more come to you, or if they both came to you as a couple, that would be for you to help set the scene with. But they told you of this returning individual's arrival, and said they had some news, and of course, as your duties, you must be there to stand in the court. So, I'll open up to any questions that may have sparked, but otherwise, I'll open it up to you.
My foot fell asleep.
Good thing your foot's not playing your character. So, yeah, no.
So they came to us personally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, we're cool.
Yeah, because you both sit high on the court. And obviously, your character coming back, possibly recently, or maybe you were preparing to leave once more. You do a bit of travel as part of your job. Whatever that case may be, any plans you would have had are kind of being halted, because it's not every day that this titular visitor comes around. And it's usually a time of good spirits. Mysterious as this person may be, it's never usually something that you would not look forward to.
Yeah, and if there's anything to be said about my character, they love good spirits.
Yeah. You wordsmith.
My guy is just like, I'm just happy to take a break off work for a bit.
Technically, this is just more work.
It's a different kind of. Well, he's used to doing a lot of paperwork and teaching students on the side. This is a very much different kind of work.
What the hell's work?
What the hell is work?
Put in their job.
So, have you come to a conclusion of what the relationship between the two would be?
Yeah, strangers.
Complete strangers?
Like,
in passing, we've heard of one another. That's
yeah, but like, as many strangers as like I am to the person who works in my HR department. Like, I don't know them.
You just know of them. You know they exist.
Yeah, I know they exist. I know there's someone in that position. Don't know who they are. Can't say we've had brunch together. I assume Faye eat brunch.
I almost said that witch from HR. Anyway. So, like... Is the guest already there, or are they, like, set to arrive?
They're set to arrive.
And we were called here to make the preparations easier, or, like, to just be introduced?
No, they're on their way as we speak, walking towards the main chamber, and you all would be located somewhere in the antechamber of this structure. So, what I'm thinking is, after each one of them splits up quickly to get both of you, as you come with them, you'll all kind of meet in a corridor of the antechamber and walk there, giving some time for character introduction, and maybe you two could officially meet and pass something, since there's most likely been times you've both been in the court to do something. There's been times when one of you's only been there, the other one's only been there. So that's what I'm thinking.
My guy is, like, neck deep in paperwork.
So he's just walking with stacks of paperwork following him along, just magically pulled across the floor. Is that it?
Nah, he's like...
I jest, of
he's
course.
thinking about his office. So he's like, when I get back, I still have, like, that big stack. But he's got, like, a couple, like, scrolls and stuff in his arms.
Yeah, imagine there's just, like, this big ol' heavy stack of papers that's, like, 10 feet tall, and each one that flies off the top is just being collected by your familiars.
Actually, yeah,
back on.
Happens. If you drop something, one of them picks them up. It's very convenient. So my guy's like, just like walking, looking over some notes. He's a busy man. He's got things to do. And he's got to be efficient in his day.
Fair enough.
Our characters are so opposite, it's hilarious.
It really was, reading that in. So, you know, as much planning as I did, I still am kicking around a folder. So,
yeah.
Eddie, what is your character doing at this point in time, you know, walking out of the room? I imagine that the king is with you and the queen would be with Shay's character.
Sure.
So how are your quarters kept if Shay's character is busy paperwork office space?
It's not messy, but it looks like the quarters of someone who is barely home, but spends all of their money on a bunch of shit they don't need.
So it looks like hoarders, but with dust.
Not like a hoarder's thing, but like if they just have a bunch of crap they don't need and use, and their room is basically like one of those storage garages you see.
Ah.
You know, I probably shouldn't be, but I feel like you're throwing shade at the way my room's kept.
Well, no, but you live in your room. My character doesn't.
Mine still has dust. Oh, anyway.
There's no dust in the Feywild.
Of course there is! That's what you call fairy dust!
Fucking pixies got in my office again, I swear.
You're the one who summons them.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be, like, delegated to specific things.
Yeah, but they're pixies. Do you think they listen?
When you can snap their neck with a pinky, yeah, they should.
You have to catch them first.
I'm just imagining that they're delegated, and then every once in a while you'll move a book and you'll just see like a little tiny little spool of thread propped up like a table, and some very tiny bottles just like put to the side because they were drinking instead of working.
Yeah, those are my kinds of pixies.
You're not wrong.
Perfect. I forgot to repeat the track. I knew I was forgetting something. I'm good at my job.
I mean, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, like, what's Rebel's character doing?
So yours is walking out with the queen.
Starting to walk out with the queen, yes. And
Yeah.
what are you doing? Because
I probably be pretty much just have like my bag of holding and then just leave my room, pull out an alchemy jug, go to town.
You don't say anything, you just follow behind?
Good morning.
Ah, yes, good morning. Are you ready to meet our distinguished guest? He says with a smile.
Of course!
And the king chuckles a bit, and his tall frame even slightly making you look short among people. And you just
Which is fair.
You feel his strong hand rest on your shoulder, and you feel from it that warm summer radiance that Oberon is so well known for. Almost like a fatherly warmth, as he is quite the gentle, benevolent giant. And he just looks at you and he says, "Well, there's no time to waste. Come,
So,
I have to see my beautiful wife." As he starts to walk with a little spring in his step at the mere thought of getting to see his wife, who he has literally only not seen for a few seconds. At most. Maybe a few minutes.
the Eladrin honeymoon period never ends.
It never ends! Oberon and Titania, just eternally honeymooners.
Good for them.
So, like, with Oberon's, like, mighty grip, my character was, like, you know, able to, like, stand up and at attention. But as soon as he lets go, she just defaults back to, like...
Slouch.
Not even a slouch, just barely being able to stand.
So, he just more or less puts his hand where your shoulder should be, and it's like... Basically, that's what I'm getting. Like, you marionette up into a standing position.
Yeah, basically.
Because, you know, despite his benevolence, you wouldn't want his hand to have to reach lower than it has to.
That'd be disrespectful. I don't know about that.
Yeah. So, as you two are walking, we'll go back and revisit Shay's character walking with Titania. The papers fluttering around, the familiars darting back and forth to grab them. A paced step.
Yeah,
And
so...
with that paced step, you keep always taking a few steps towards Titania, and then she kind of looks at you and just gently grabs your sleeve and pulls you back. Cause it's not disrespect. It's more like a you can't see where you're walking. Why are you going so fast? Kind of vibe. And she just tries to peer at you through the papers, and she simply goes, "You know, you have worked too hard. Perhaps taking a break could be in order."
I'm gonna try to do a dude voice. So if my voice cracks, I'm not sorry.
It's work stress. It's from all those late night hours with no water, no nothing, just
for a
parched.
9 to 5 job, he doesn't work 9 to 5. It's much longer.
For a 9 to 5 job, he works from 1 to 12.
7.
You might
7 to
say
2.
that. You can say all you want that I'm overworking, but I can't hear you over how much work I'm getting done.
Just looks over the papers with some very large bags under his eyes.
Yeah, so he goes, pardon me, I just have a very full schedule. I appreciate your guidance.
But of course, schedules are always full, and there's always time tomorrow to do things. You should live life and experience nature, not always parchment. As she watches another piece of paper flutters down, only to be snapped up by a small familiar.
Man, Fluffball's getting some exercise. He's kind of a lazy piece of shit. And clingy.
Little tiny
He likes to sleep. Anyway, my guy, just... I don't want to shrug at the queen. Man, stupid etiquettes.
Oh, yeah,
He goes,
those etiquettes.
I will take this into account.
And at that, she's just like, very well, you will do it. You do wonderful work.
I strive for the best.
And as you two continue walking, you start to hear a familiar thud. Not stomping, but the sounds of someone heavy walking down the halls. And as the corridors begin to fork and join, Shay, you see the familiar visage of the king, and Eddie, you see the familiar radiance of the queen, and I have zero control on how these are going to upload to the NPC pictures, so you're gonna have to
thankfully, both the king and my guy are being so fucking rude right now, and not escorting the ladies they're walking with.
I mean, the king's walking in front, but...
No, usually when you're walking with someone and going to the same place, unless declined, you're supposed to escort them. So, like, you offer a shoulder, an elbow, it's up to them to take it or not. Usually the queen is never unescorted. But, it doesn't matter.
But these are Eladrin, and they work different from how most societies work. And... yeah, so... as you finally converge, almost with bated expectation, the king and queen just break off from both of you and start walking side by side, and they're just staring at each other. They're not even looking forward at this point. It's like magnetism. And you just hear the king go, "Hello, my dear. It has been too long." And she just looks up and she starts snickering, and she just reaches up to pet his cheek and is like, "I know, I could barely contain myself."
Aw, isn't that cute?
And with that, they kind of like both loosely turn around, and they're like, "Oh, you've two never actually officially met before, have you?" Unusual,
No!
Unusual days call for unusual circumstances, I suppose. And Titania kind of looks towards you. I'm on the wrong tab. Looks towards you, Sir Shakalin for your introduction to your new, but also old colleague.
Alright, so with this revelation, my guy will finally put away his notes, as he has enough class to at least put away what he's looking at when he's talking to someone. And he will turn, give a slight bow, and say, "My name is Shakayla Nevenpride. It is nice to finally make your acquaintance officially."
So like, how low of a bow? Like a very just like by the
Enough
head, by the shoulder.
Enough to be
Okay.
cool.
So as you're bowing, like you just see my character just like holding up like an alchemy jug, like a very specialized one. It looks more like one of those you know those like little clay gourds that you'll see.
Like the gourd bottles.
Yeah, like a gourd bottle.
Yeah, those are actual gourds, FYI.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cool. Bottle gourds are cool.
Yeah, that's what my alchemy jug is.
Just a full-up
All
bottle
three
gourd?
of them.
All three of them. Are you like offering it to my guy?
No, I'm drinking it.
Oh, what are you holding it out for then? Or did I
Oh
miss
no, I said hold it like just literally like you know when someone's just like trying to down something, they just have it all the way up in the air?
Oh, gotcha. My guy goes, must be quite good to be. Wait, what time of day is it? That's actually really important.
Probably the morning.
You're right.
wanted-
That's a very good question.
What's your character's name again?
It's 9 in the morning. It's Shakaylan Everpride?
Evan Pride. Evan Pride. That's how I'm pronouncing it. I found it too funny to not be Shakaylan for obvious reasons.
How obvious.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell him what the concept name was gonna be?
I don't remember what it was, so sure.
Oh, the concept name was gonna be Tiffany something.
Oh yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, and just gonna
Yeah.
be really deep voice and
Tiffany Fluffy! That's what it
Yeah,
was.
Tiffany Fluffy!
Tiffany Fluffy.
But anyway, to answer your question, the 1d24 for day has determined that it is 9 in the morning.
So,
In
my guy goes,
terms of Feywild
Yeah.
standards.
yeah. My guy goes, it must be quite a good drink to drink so early. I wish I could have my own, to be honest.
You want some of mine?
Fuck it. He goes, sure. I'll never say no to a drink.
The
Here you go.
parallels.
It's apricot wine, and I'm just gonna like underhand pitch the gourd to you.
My guy hopefully catches it. Actually, no, an underhand pitch is usually really easy to catch. My guy catches it. He can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be a giant nerd, but you can catch an underhand pitch.
Yeah. And so, he'll take a swig as hopefully this time you introduce yourself.
My name's Miali. It's nice to meet you. And they're also gonna go for a bow, but like, they just start bowing, and keep bowing, and keep bowing, and then you just see them tumble onto the floor.
So they're doing that motion of like swinging their head up and down, right?
No, it's
No,
like,
just
imagine
like-
someone going for like a bow,
And they just keep
but
going
they just
forward.
keep going.
Oh, lower and lower. Gotcha.
Yeah, and it just eventually just tumbles onto the floor, like, face up, just like, Oops.
So obviously the king and queen take notice, and Oberon's just smiling, and Titania looks over her shoulder. She's like, "Oh, by the way, honey, did she bring back anything you like?" And at that, Oberon just smiles, and he takes out just a small metal curio you took from your last trip, and he's just holding it like a young boy. He's like, "Yes, look at how pretty it is. Twinkle, twinkle, sparkle, sparkle. The mortal realm has so many interesting curios. I do not understand why we can't have more."
Right? And I'm just gonna, like, throw up a thumbs up from the floor.
I thought you were gonna say I'm just gonna throw up all over the floor.
Right? Oh.
And at that, Titania will just gesture a hand, and a loose vine from the wall will come over and grab the thumbs up hand and help you to your feet.
Oh, no need. And I'm just gonna, like, from the floor, just, like, backflip back onto my feet.
That's pretty impressive. Flat prone, backflipping up. Whoa!
Yeah, literally just wah! The exact same motion I did to tumble, I'm just doing in reverse.
Just reverse time.
Ta-da! Can I have that back now?
Meanwhile, while you ask for that bag, Oberon's just...
Thank you!
But you know, his big, meaty man hands just...
It's causing everything else to sway just about as much as I do normally.
Not that powerful.
You hear my little fluff ball chirp.
My little fluff ball.
Yeah, that's the
that's
phoenix.
It. Nope, that's it. Copyright strike.
On what?
The theme song for that show.
What show?
Can't say. I already run copyright strike. I sung 2 notes from a song. The YouTube algorithm gonna get me.
Good.
Gonna copyright claim my entire channel. Take all that ad revenue money I don't make.
Oh no.
Yeah, all those pennies. I could have, like, had some pennies. But yeah, no, anyway, anything else?
My guy took a swig, and once she's up, he'll hand her the gourd back.
Good, right? My favorite apricot one was a little winery by a waterfall. Made it all the time.
I'll have to get some from my personal stash.
I'll take an order down. I'll grab you some next time I go.
Much appreciated.
Hey, do you like gifts?
Yes, you see this? I almost said you see this asshole on my shoulder?
You see this asshole on my shoulder?
You see...
Moist gentle.
You see this, he's pointing at the red bird. He's like, you see the bird, phoenix on my shoulder? It was a gift from one of my students.
Whoa. Wonder how it tastes fried.
I'm not sure how that would work, considering they're always on fire.
Good point.
And, I hope this goes without saying, but please don't fry Fluffball.
Which one's that?
Fluffball is the red one.
Oh.
Now I need a name for the owl, and Joey is the owl.
I'm really surprised you didn't name it Jeremy.
No, because we already named another one Jeremy, and then there's a Jerry. I can only have so many J names.
Oh, no, that's what I meant, Jerry.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, like, then your next one could be John.
Bartholomew isn't very
And then
important to me,
And then
so
the
I
one
can't
after
remember
that
his
would
name.
be Jacob. And the one after that will be Jingleheimer
You
Schmidt.
son of a bitch! I
No.
fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. You.
And you did nothing to stop it.
But yeah,
Of course, I
so
did nothing to stop it. It's funny.
when he introduces Fluffball, he like puffs out his chest to like look bigger, but this is a baby phoenix, so he just like puffs up. It's more cuter than intimidating. And when he introduces Jerry, Joey, that's the name. When he introduces Joey, he just gives like a ruffle of his feathers.
I'm hungry.
That in character, or
Yes. I'm
Okay.
eating out of character.
So my guy hands him a holly berry.
so anyway, as you're walking down the corridor, I assume you take the holly berry,
Yeah.
pop it in your mouth.
Pop in my mouth and like, I need something to wash this down with.
Oh, the setup. Oh, God. The setup game. You're on top of it right now and you're killing me with it. So, as the king and queen walk in front of you, hands interlaced, you start to come out of the right antechamber entrance. And with that, you come to the court, who of course is filled with, guarded with the paladins of the court. But as, based on your positions, you pay more attention to where the most important figures in the room are. And that would be where the king and queen be, where they sit, and you can feel free to move yourselves into whatever position you like. And I'll give you a second to put those tokens on the board.
So I assume these spots are the tables?
No, actually, a good point. I almost forgot to do it with the 12 things running through my head right now. So, as you come to the court, you see the very familiar sight. The living wood floor continues. No planks, just straight wood.
Just straight up, like, bark.
Bumpy, a little uneven, but not uncommon for Eladrin. Even if they choose to wear things like footwear, they don't mind difficult terrain, as their connectedness with nature makes anything that comes with nature seem familiar. This is one reason that explains why certain Eladrin, like the king and queen, choose to walk barefoot, because it gives them a connectedness and a feeling that they don't get normally if they wear footwear.
Yeah, my character's not wearing that. They're wearing shoes.
Yeah, so is mine.
Well, that you wouldn't be wearing non-footwear. But
You don't know what I mean.
yeah, I know what you mean. The pillars in the room, and along with some of the walls, are pretty much the only stone that exists. Loosely erected and large enough to give the illusion of more walls than anything. Vines coiling around the stone pillars that hold the loose ceiling in place. Leaves cluttering both the high walls and ceiling, with the only form of craftsmanship being the crystal glass panes that sit in their sills to the side of the room. Oberon having a distinct taste for gemstones and other sparkly forms of rock, the panes were a gift from many Eladrin who chose to celebrate him for one of his birthdays, something that notably made him blush, which goes down in tales, specifically for the fact that, well, he's normally in his summer season, So to blush when you're already so bright is quite a sight.
Mm-hmm. Wish
Shay...
I could have been there for it.
Would my guy have been there, or is he too young?
Not too young. I mean, by Elijah's standards, not too young. But you may have been there. Though how paying attention you were to the festivities, that's up for you to decide. You may have been stuck in your office for most of the occasion.
The nerd who works through the office party.
So, no. He has an assistant. He's not alone. So he might have been working at the party, but when interesting things happen, his assistant tells him what's up. So yeah, he saw, doesn't know the story, his assistant does.
Your job sucks.
It does. It sucks a lot.
So, do you choose to go stand near the king and queen? Or are you gonna take up some spot somewhere in the court?
What do you mean near? Like, I feel like this is as close as we should get.
Oh no, because of your status, you could be much closer. You could be standing right next to them at attention if you wanted.
I'll be right over here.
Fuck that shit.
Standing in the middle of the room?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's fine.
Can we, I need to go get my last load of laundry. Be right back.
Alright.
So the pillars go all the way to the ceiling, right?
Yes.
About how tall are they?
I would say a good 120 feet. It's a very open room. It's less court and more like court, if you get my idea.
Mm-hmm.
And there's vines and flowers that hang from the ceiling.
What you're saying is it would be a courtyard.
You're not.
Kinda. Like, any stone or wood that was used to prop up walls was really only done so that there could be an excuse for calling it a room. So yeah, field any other questions while Shay goes and gets that laundry.
No, I'd assume that, like, there are going to be other people sitting around. It's not exactly like we don't have, like, a table type of, like, courtroom meeting, right?
The only tables would be like small tables set up around the pillars. You know, like small little short tables that have like bowls of fruit, some wine, refreshments. Think a Bakasuran kind of like vibe, if that helps.
What was that?
I said think a Bakasuran kind of vibe, if you know what I'm getting at.
A third time because Discord decided to cut you out.
I said, and I quote, think of it more like a Bakasuran type vibe, as opposed to anything else. You're a big history buff, and you know a couple of the mythos, so I'm going to assume that you might know what Bakasuran means.
Yeah, I get you.
But other than that, in front of the king and queen, and all the way to where you see the little white, which resembles the light coming in from outside. I don't have great shaders with this, and I'm no RGs.
Wait, this over here?
Yes.
And this one up.
The one in the back are the dimmer lights coming in from the antechamber corridors. Because most of the hallways are either built on diagonals or are forced to intercept because there'll be like things like trees that are standing in the way. And thus, the loose building that it is more carving around nature than going through it. So, there's very rarely actually straight corners throughout this building.
Cool.
All right, thank you for your patience.
Yes, patience I did have. So, actually, I need the bathroom now, so give me like a few seconds, and I guess, Ed, you can tell her what I told you.
Nah, she can watch the recording. He must have hit something on his way to the bathroom.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Man, he must have hit something really hard.
Yeah, I hope it makes it back fine.
Yeah. How's my dude voice?
Were you doing a voice?
I can't do like really low, otherwise my throat's low. I mean dry, that's the word.
Get Wawa.
I'd
Not
kill
that
for some
kind of
Wawa
dry.
right now.
No, not that Wawa.
But I want Wawa.
I'm gonna
It'd make a very good sandwich.
I'm gonna put salt in your Wawa.
I thought you had Za.
I do have za. I'd
Well,
give
how
up the
do
za
you
for
have it?
Wawa.
Nah. Keep the za. Abandon
Nah.
Wawa.
Wawa. No za. Wah.
Wah! So, anyhoosala, as you two situate yourself standing in the open chamber, the guards and other people of nobility, I say nobility, other members of the court, standing by the pillars in their place, your mysterious frequent flyer comes back. Finally starts to walk in. If I can actually remember to hold shift. Technical difficulties, roll 20 hates me. I'm being bullied by a browser. Help! Send help! I'm being bullied!
Oh my stars and garters, I'd love to help Sugar Belle, but I just can't.
Anywho. So as you just hear the pitter-patter of light feet begin to walk in, the entire chamber starts to fall quiet. Again, not unusual for the arrival of your particular visitor. And they just walk slowly, just a pat, pat, pat. A tall individual of about 7 feet walks in, and their stature is so demanding, their presence so, I don't want to say attractive, because you can't see much, but they draw your attention so well, it's almost enough to not notice the small figure walking near them. Dressed in their own black robes is what appears to be a small child of maybe about 10, 12 years, with long flowing black hair. And as they're starting to pass by you, Eddie, if you would like, you can make a perception check.
I'm good at those.
Are you?
This time, yes.
Gotta beat me that base 10.
Oh, so I pass, right?
I don't know, I didn't see it.
No, I mean my perception's a 13.
Is your passive perception a 13? Oh.
Mo, my passive perception's a 23.
Mine's 21. We're legal. Woo.
Oh, so I guess you just automatically pass.
I mean, I'll roll anyway. Yeah.
A pass!
Wow.
So as you look at the small child, you try and rack your brain to any time you've ever seen this individual before. And you can't remember ever seeing him be with a child, so it's striking you as odd. You never thought him the type to have children or be around them. And as this pleasant little girl looks at you, her eyes strike you because they're white. Not like white in the outer eye, but like her very pupils themselves glow with an eerie white. And she pleasantly just waves her hand at you.
I'll wave back with a big old smile.
And she reaches up and curls her hand into your mysterious fellows. And as he stops a few feet from the king and queen standing before Titania, they both just smile pleasantly. And you hear Oberon direct his attention and says, I am a little surprised, my friend. I did not think you would be bringing the sweet little princess with you this time. Or really any time. And as Shay, you see the robes, the hood start to lift a little. You see his left hand come forward and he speaks. Well, you see, I'm in a rush. I did not have time to leave her somewhere safe. But it is a pleasure to see you, Oberon, Titania, and members of the court! As his arms splay wide, revealing his old and wrinkled hands. And as he lifts his head, you see only two glowing yellow eyes. And the little girl kind of confidently, but stands beside him, always still holding either his hand, his robe, his sleeve, something. She doesn't look afraid, but simply more like she prefers to have a grip on him than really stand anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Titania nods, and the paladins and other members of the court standing around, they, from what you can see, some are smiling, others are near ready to cheer. But everyone's holding their tongue, and Titania takes her turn to speak. Yes, well, it is always a pleasure to have you, my friend. But what is this news? And with that, his arms start to set. I do not come with good news or better tidings.
Aww.
Something is wrong. And they kind of straighten up a little and look at each other. It is not like you to have worry. What do you mean? The gods are cooking up something, and I can't place my finger on it. They are moving in ways I don't predict, and Solaris, I don't understand if she knows or not. As you could imagine, not knowing is making me weary.
It's not what I do. I know things. That's my thing.
So Oberon looks at him and says, Mein friend, what could the gods possibly be cooking up that would have you nervous? I mean, I could think of things personally, but you're standing in my court, not yours. And he takes a moment of pause. You understand that Eladrin have power, and that is something most of the gods, save for potentially only Solaris, do not fear. Whatever they're doing, they seem to always be moving around wherever the Eladrin are. Never through, never with. I can't imagine that they've had communications recently. And they both look at each other. No, they have not. But this has never been of concern before. And this mysterious figure kind of tenses fingers together and interlaces them and starts rubbing his thumb over the other. I know I potentially shouldn't be thinking something of it, but I have an itching feeling. An itching feeling like if I don't pay attention to this, I may come to regret it. The gods have never been overly favorable of the Eladrin. You know they don't consider you Celestials, and they don't consider you as the gods you should be considered. They consider you more like mortals living in their world, and this is just as much yours as it is anyone else's. And with that, he throws his hands open. So I wonder how vain they could be, and what mistakes they could wrought. As he turns his glowing eyes directly at Shay's character, since you're in such close proximity, it almost seems like he's urging for some kind of response.
He's looking at the wrong dude. Let me tell you that.
Potentially.
So he wants, like, a response?
Well, he's leaving it open for interjections.
My guy's
That bites.
So, I'd like to point out that my character isn't directly looking. The owl is, but, he's kind of, like, passively, like, flickering through actually seeing and, like, looking through his owl. So my guy doesn't say anything.
Fair enough. I urge you to consider what could be. And Oberon just has this, like, more serious look on his face of, like, puzzlement. Surely you cannot be suggesting that they would be so bold as to attempt something. Zanzibar, really? They're gods, they're not barbarians. I beg to differ. I've seen how vain they can be, and I have known how shallow they can act. You know this too. You're giving them the benefit of the doubt when they don't deserve it. Were you gonna say something, Shay?
My guy is thinking, no matter how this ends, I'm gonna come home to a bigger stack of paperwork.
That's a thought.
That's his only thought, and he is saddened.
I'm also sad. My character's also saddened by their thoughts.
You can't have that connection, you're strangers.
No, not by their thoughts. Mine are saddened by my own.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Care to share?
She's just listening, she's like, oh, this is serious. I might have to sober up a bit.
My guy wishes he was less sober for this. He's like, man, I wish I took more than a swig of that apricot wine.
So yeah, with that, Titania actually gets up and she walks over to your revealed figure, and she just gently takes his hand, and she looks him dead in the eyes.
You should moisturize more. These cuticles, terrible.
She's not a Jersey girl!
That wasn't Jersey!
It wasn't Jersey, but she's not a Valley girl or a Jersey girl either.
I didn't do either.
I
Just said he needs to moisturize.
How do you know you haven't felt them hands? You don't
said
know how
old hands.
old doesn't mean crusty or ashy.
No, but wrinkled means you need to moisturize.
Well, yeah, let me remember that. Let me go start moisturizing my 101-year-old grandmother's hands until they're as plump as a baby's. I'm sure I'll get somewhere. I I'm sure I won't rip her skin from how frail it is by the time I'm done rubbing the 30th bottle of cream into them.
Look, fam, just saying.
Did Discord die or did the bot just die?
I think the bot died.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The bot couldn't take the moisturization. Technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Did the little girl who I know is Death? Did Death react to the phoenix, the baby phoenix?
Not yet. And how do you know she's Death? She could be anybody.
Because common sense.
Are you sure?
Yeah, actually.
So anyway, she takes his hands and looks him in the eye. I understand you are attempting to be serious, and I am taking your words in stride. But I find it hard to believe that after so long they would do something like this. And he grips her hands back and just looks her in the eyes and says, "Oh, so that's what the Colossi got? A fair shake? A good show. That's what you would describe that as, Titania?" And at that, she kind of just like looks down, and even Oberon kind of starts leaning forward and looking down. You would like to think after so much time that they'd be benevolent or kind. You two are not the norm. You're an exception to the rule, as are most Eladrin. No, all Eladrin. I don't think I've met a single one of your entire species that's ever been so self-centered, callous, and self-absorbed as any other Celestial.
Thank you.
Is that in character?
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily get a response from him, but the little girl just gives you a thumbs up. Energetic little, you know.
I hit their thumbs up, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Fluffball gives an indignant chirp.
In fact, if it wasn't for me and my quote-unquote, lifting his hands up to air quotes, trickery and maliciousness, then we would have lost the Colossi. It was my hand, my machinations that allowed Sol and the others to exist. Hidden away perfectly from the gods, something that they still venerate me for to this day. I'm not in the business of letting others do what they want. I only do what I want, and as far as I'm concerned, that seems to be working. So if it isn't broke, why fix it? And with that, Oberon looks up and he's just like, "You are right. You are right, my friend, and I understand. But I can't just start preparing for war if I don't know there will be one."
I mean, you can, but that's neither here nor there.
That's what preparation is for.
If I was suddenly to start mobilizing, gathering weapons, I would only incur this. And if it wasn't to be true, and I acted, I may make it so when it would have never been. It's a danger I can't put my people through. And he too will get up and walk in front of you, not rudely, but just so he could be next to his wife and closer. You know, thrones be damned.
Simp.
Well, no, closer to the conversation. He doesn't want to be talking from that far away. Not with something like this.
I just wanted to call him a simp.
Okay.
Man. Wait till the king finds out that the Magic Tower frequently makes weapons, but for fun.
Well, he would know about that, but
yeah,
the point
they have a room full of them.
Point he's making is one sitting there for fun, and the other one would be sitting in somebody's hand. one out of thousands lined up in lockstep.
I see no issue. It wouldn't be my guy.
You don't see issue with having expertise in a stat that normally gets you something bad, even when you roll good, especially when you roll good. So anyway, he continues on to say, "It is not that I do not believe you, nor that I do not want to trust you. But I would need to see it, some indication with my own eyes." And the hood kind of like starts to dip down, breaking eye contact. "I understand. I can't convince you to do things like I would. I just pray it's not too late if something were to happen. I pray that you could do things the way you want to and have it go the way you desire. But please, just don't disregard what I'm saying." And that single word, that single please, just sends the most uncomfortable wave throughout the chamber, because this is not an individual that in your entire service to the king, or in any time you've ever met him, has ever said any word like that. So much so that even the king and queen are visibly shocked when they heard it. And there's just serious pause for consideration on their faces. This is highly abnormal. And Oberon kind of like puts an arm around his shoulders, and Titania gives him a loose hug, and he just looks up at them through these what is it, the cowl, the cloak of his cape? You know what I mean.
Yeah, it'd be a cowl.
Mm-hmm. And you can't see his face, neither one of you can. But you can feel the radiance of the king and queen's compassion emanating off of them. Their emotions are more of an aura than anything else. A testament to their power. And you just, from where you're standing, Shakalin, you hear both of them just say, "Thank you. And we will." And he begins to turn around, taking the small child's hand, and she just looks up and goes, "Are we leaving already?" "Yes, my dear. Now come on, we must be quicker. I can't wait for the little pitter-patter feet to make their way. We need speed." As he kind of scoops her up and starts walking down the corridor, she making a note as they pass Miley?
Miali.
Miali. Okay, we're gonna go with that. And she'll just wave at you again, and she'll just go, "Bye-bye.
I'll see you soon."
And as he makes his way towards the entrance of the court, Titania will just go, "Zanzibar, where are you to go now?" And he'll look over his shoulder where, she isn't being cradled.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll just say, "I'm going to attempt to make a visit to Solaris. If anyone deserves to know what seems to be going on, it's her. If there ever was a god among gods, she's the one to talk to. Hopefully I can sway her, potentially a little more than I've been able to here." And with that, as soon as he steps out of the building proper, he kind of just takes a quick stance, and with a magical jolt, you see him quickly become a dot in the distance, moving at high speeds. And if you both, I'll say, since your passive perceptions are both so high, you look back at the king and queen, watching him go into the distance, and their hands are just squeezing each other's. And the room is yours.
I'm gonna stumble up to them, as I'm known to do. And without saying anything, I'm just gonna offer the bottle.
Man, if my guy wasn't on the other side of them, he'd so take it.
So Titania will just look at the bottle, and without saying much, she'll just nod her head in appreciation, grab it, and she'll just start downing as much as she can.
Oh my god. I want that one guy in the back and be like, chug, 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 chug.
My character going, chug, 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 chug.
Some of the paladins are even, you see, starting to sit down. The room, as the seconds tick by, is starting to feel like the air is getting heavier. Just, it's starting to sink in with every passing second. Everything he said, everything he meant, and the reality of it all.
This meeting.
Yeah, this meeting, the implications he implied. There's a shadow of doubt looming in everybody's mind.
My guy's still thinking about the work he's gonna have to do either way. So his slightly downcast face is not for the right reasons.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Not even close.
I'm thinking that on my next trip to the mortal plane, I'm probably going to have to stop by his house, see what's going on.
Stop by whose house?
Oh, the Zanzibar boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. I can walk on water.
Yeah, I guess. So, what do now?
Why were we called here? I still don't know.
Well, they didn't think this was gonna be the case.
They thought it was gonna be a joyous occasion, not, hey.
We need to go to war?
Shit's going bad. Might need to go to war.
My...
So, do you say anything to the king and queen?
You good, fam? Do you need a minute?
As she's just downing the bottle, I'm just gonna put like a hand on her shoulder and just be like, that wasn't fun.
And as she hands it back to you,
empty.
No, it's still very much full.
Nice.
Well, I'm assuming it's the bottle I'm thinking of, and not just a regular bottle.
Oh no, it is a alchemy jug. If it's a wine, it's got like about a gallon in there, and that's already probably halfway done.
Yeah, oh, okay. So if it's not an endless bottle of endless drinkitude, then yeah, it's much lighter than it was when you handed it off.
Well, it's actually always the same weight, no matter what's in there. It's kind of funny that way.
There is about maybe 10% of the total contents left in there. Do with that information what you will.
Drink it.
But yeah, no, as she hands the bottle back, you see the colorful flowers and leaves of her visage begin to turn and fade, and you just see her starting to go into fall.
Just like me.
Should someone catch her?
No, she's not falling.
The season.
The season. He was being facetious. I was being literal. At least I think.
No, I was also being literal.
Oh. Fall party! It's autumnal time!
No, I don't mean that I fell. I mean that my season is autumn.
That's what I meant by it's autumnal time.
Whoa! And then I do a cartwheel.
You actually?
Can I?
I guess you can. You're the split raving drunk who loves to party. I would imagine maybe you would want to try and liven the mood.
I think we need to lighten the mood a bit. Nothing ever gets decided right with a frown.
Perhaps you are right. As Oberon smiles. Ah. Ow, I have water in my lungs. Ow. And he turns towards Shakalin, and he says, I know you are probably quite eager to get back to work, but I have a request. Start seeing what we would have in the way of weapons. And at that, Titania's gonna kind of like quickly look at him, almost with a little bit of shock, as if he's going back on his word so quickly. And he just instinctively looks at her and says, he has never once begged. Now
So
he begs. And she just looks at him and just gives a nod of agreement that, given the circumstances, yes, he's probably making the right call. So your orders are to go take inventory of everything that could feasibly be used as a weapon, just in case.
Yeah, so, fun fact, something that's been on the to-do list was catalog the armory. Hadn't gotten there.
No, now it's on the top of the list.
Yeah! He's like, fuck! But he's not showing it, and he's like, of course.
So I assume you're going to make your way to the armory?
Yes. He needs his assistant. So, he sends his familiar to get his faithful assistant, whose name I never came up with.
Ah, so he never bothered to remember.
Just like an intern would.
No, he knows his assistant's name. I just didn't come up with one.
Assistant!
Tiffany!
By name! Tiffany Flew!
No. Not this time.
You got something better? I don't hear something better.
Pinkerton.
And Pinkerton it should be.
More like
Yeah.
Pinkerton.
So he makes his way out. He bows to the king and queen. Says, "I shall see you upon my return." And then he sends his owl off to go get Pinkerton because he needs help.
Bye bye.
He gives a wave.
Yeah, and as you return towards the direction of the armory and the antechamber, you leave the court to go do that separate mission. Meanwhile, Titania takes Eddie's character, but by the hands. Hey, I'm not a coward of anything. I'm just referring to who you're playing. And she kind of perks up a bit, some new flowers blooming once more. Yes, I do believe we could stand to use a bit of cheering up. And I could not think of anyone better to potentially liven the mood than our very own party master. As she gives you a playful smirk. Apparently, pretty much just free license to start a party.
Well, I'm not one for music, but I can do my best. And then I'll just start, like, dancing. Actually, no, that's not true. There is an instrument I'm proficient in.
Is it a harmonica?
Oh, of course not. That'd be silly.
If it's what I'm thinking it is...
Obviously. It's the
you see,
violin.
no. And it just so happens that I happen to have gotten one just recently. I start playing a little tune on the jug.
Well, you play a decent...
Yeah, exactly. Just
Do you start doing a dance with it too?
Yeah.
Roll me a performance for the dance.
I'm real good at that.
You say you're real good at stuff you're not really good at, so every time you say that, I'm like, is he though?
I say I'm just good at everything and let the dice fall where they may.
That's the way Gambler likes it.
Then it's true.
So, between the kind of weak jug performance and the strong flowing movements of your dance, clearly assisted by your intoxication, you now roll me a persuasion with advantage.
I'm not good at that.
What are you trying to persuade?
The court to join you in dancing. It's a slow to start party, but
Come on, everyone.
But eventually, the smiles start to return. Those who were letting fall take into their hearts are beginning to show more signs of spring. And the room, as more and more people feel positive and happy, begins to lift its darkening veil. As your party, slowly but surely, starts to come into its own. And you can party hearty however you feel. And we will take a quick dip to Shakalin and his endeavors to archive the inventory. I'm assuming back in your office with your assistant to hand.
Yeah. So he has briefed him on the situation. It's like, so, you know that thing we've been putting off? He's like, yeah. Which one? The armory. And the guy just like slumps shoulders and he's like, I'll go get the files. And so he's digging through for the list of what should be in there, and then my guy's actually going through what's actually in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it sucks.
So you're stuck doing inventory duty in the painful manual way of doing things.
Well, he's using magic. He summoned some like woodland creatures,
Fair enough.
beings to help.
Okay, the room is abuzz with archiving. The very pinnacle of interesting work. What's the word I'm looking for? Paper duties.
Yeah.
Paperworks.
Let me see exactly how many he can summon real quick. He has 8. He's got 8 people helping. Well, 8 Fae helping.
Alright. So it is definitely a buzz.
Yeah.
And we'll leave you to that. And we return to our now raucous party. A very clear-cut dichotomy between one character and the other. Loving it.
There's a stark
What are you
contrast.
doing, parting master?
You know, we got
Besides
people...
drinking more.
Huh?
Besides drinking more.
You know me so well at this point.
Oh, you have a habit of making very...
Drunk.
That's
He
one
makes
word
drinks.
for it.
That's not true.
Name one
only
silver
recently.
character you have.
I can name you like 7.
No, you can't. Anyway, moving on.
Well, shit. I guess I have problems.
Yeah, what are you do? Yeah, if your characters don't have a -2 for intellect, you are drinking to try and get to that -2. Listen, I'll rescind that statement when that campaign starts up again, and we get you that belt of super intelligence.
I don't want the belt of super intelligence. I want the belt of super strength.
Yeah.
Also, this character's intelligence is only a -1. Suck it, nerd.
That's smarter than Praxis.
A lot of things are.
How did
Yeah.
we get a character that could speak at -1?
What? Oh, no, I'm talking about the one I'm playing now. Yeah, no, that character's intelligence is -4.
Oh, see, I thought it was -2. That makes more sense. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, no, Remy is a -4.
Yeah. Anywho, what are you doing right now, Party Master? Again, besides drinking.
I mean, like, you know, I probably would have pulled out my quarterstaff and done, like, a little bit of a, like, you know, like those, I don't want to say katas, because, like, that's the wrong type of martial arts I'm going for, but, like, those little, like, martial arts demonstrations.
Yeah, God, I can't think of it either.
I know what you're talking
The
about.
practice
I have a
drills.
very specific one in mind.
I don't have the name for it, but practice drills, basically.
Yeah, well, like, but more of like a show you would do for an audience than like me practicing something I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Like a performance.
Yeah, you're performing it. I'll be right back.
Did you say you'd be right back?
I think so.
Sorry, I've got to drink a ton of water because of this vaccine. It's giving me a dull headache. I'm trying not to have it get any worse. Yeah, for the sake of the argument, I can pop some acetaminophen. So, are you doing anything else besides the demonstration?
I mean, I'd assume that everyone else is sort of, you know, getting to the swing of things too.
Yeah, at this point the party is in a decent swing. It's not off the walls, Great Gatsby levels of crazy, but it's a socialite party.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah. So, what'd you say your passive perception was?
23.
23. Wow, that's really high.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you begin dancing around the court, you know, doing your quarterstaff demonstrations, you know, there's people dancing and whatnot and the like. And as you kind of circle around to the front entrance, kind of doing a nice wide sweep, keep the whole crowd entertained, out of the corner of your eye, you see a figure approaching the entrance. And you get a small, you know, feeling that maybe you should stop and pay more attention.
Yeah, so I'll sort of, like, I'll put this, like, one end of the staff to the ground, and sort of, like, hold it on my back, and sort of just, like, lean on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough to fall over, but, like, enough to just sort of, like, pause with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like drunken prop.
Yeah.
So, as, you know, the spinning from the room starts to focus more, and your triple vision starts to align into one focus, you take 3 different notes. 1, it's a female. 2, it's not particularly tall. But 3, she has very long, radiantly glowing hair. And unceremoniously, this figure walks in. And as the court starts to notice her, it begins to die down. And Oberon just looks, and, you know, unseen to everybody, Titania just starts gripping his hand. And the court just falls silent. And she unceremoniously walks straight past you. Like you weren't even there to her. Almost, if you had been 2 inches over to your right, she would have knocked you right over. And she just stops in the center of the court and folds her arms behind her back and raises her head as if someone should be speaking first. And you almost feel the air move in the room as Oberon pulls in his breath. To what do I owe this pleasure, soon? And she just pauses and looks for a minute. And he just tries to hide it, but he grips, you know, whatever constitutes an arm on his throne. O radiant goddess of beauty and light, to what do mine eyes owe this gift? That's better. Needs work. Hello, Oberon, Titania. I've come bringing wonderful news. And Titania literally can't hold it. She just looks down so to avoid anybody seeing her roll her eyes. We have things to discuss. Oh? What would those be? Well, as you know, gods rule the celestial plane, and we oh so love this dominion, and we hope to keep things as peaceful as possible. So, quite frankly, I was wondering if it might be possible to consider maybe getting rid of whatever this is. And, you know, that sends a shiver straight up your spine, Eddie.
I, in return, like, I'm, like, gripping my quarterstaff right now.
What's he, like, gesturing this? Like, he's talking about the party, or...?
She's kind of, like, pointing at the very building itself, just, you know...
Just sort of waving at, like, everything.
This needs to...
go.
Yeah.
Gotcha. We're on the same panel.
And under what necessity would we have to move all of this? This does constitute a home, you understand that, right? I understand many things, and what I understand is that if you consider this shelter, then perhaps you have much to learn from the gods who you neighbor and bask in their radiance. And Oberon, still holding his wife's hand, can feel her hand just getting warmer and warmer. Just... she's starting to lose her patience.
She's starting to summarize.
Mm-hmm.
A little. Some of the flowers are starting to overbloom a little. Well, I could understand potentially not liking other people's culture, but don't you think this is a little too much? We are in mind court after all. We are not in your wardrobe. And at that, you actually, Eddie, hear a paladin fairly close by you very quickly try to stifle a snicker. And soon just shoots Oberon a look. I would mark your words carefully, my dear Fey King. After all, I am a god. And I am an Eladrin. I am glad we are on the same page. We were trying to have a bit of a celebration before you graced us with your presence. Would it be possible to get back to that, and perhaps I can have this conversation with you and, of course, my wife at a date appropriate to your schedule? And now she just looks perturbed, just irritated, and just raises a finger while keeping her other hand behind her back. I would mark your words wisely before you find that I am less forgiving of such insolence. And shocking everybody in the room, Oberon just lifts both hands and slams them so hard the arms of his throne shatter off. I am in Mind Court with mine people, my civilization, my species. I won't be talked down to by a tiny, insignificant... And as soon as that word comes out of his mouth, Soon just gets up and puts her hand on his chest. I have just as much right to live here and be here and exist here as you. I don't care how much vanity you contain or how much beauty you represent. You will not speak ill of me or my children while I am in here and while I am breathing. Now, if you have nothing nice to say, if no one's ever taught you to say something nice, there is what we constitute as a door. And the whole room is struck silent. Ed, do you have any reaction you'd like to give?
I'm gonna take my hands off of the quarterstaff, sort of balancing it so that it's still, like, upright. I'm just gonna, like... just a clap.
At that, Soon's gonna just look over her shoulder, and she's just gonna very audibly...
I wink at her.
And she's just going to stand there, and she's going to very slowly look at Oberon, and she's just going to stare him down for a solid 5 seconds of just dead silence. I don't have to take that from scum. And she lifts her hand, and with just out of nowhere, you see a large ball of light fly out of her hands at Oberon, knocking him backwards and basically making him land on his back, to which everybody in the room just like readies up before Oberon, now fully enraged, just starts getting up, heat coming off him, burning like a sun. And in seconds, you hear just the crack of the sound barrier and both him and Soon disappear, and you are pushed on your back a good 15 feet diagonally as you hear what constitutes as a loud boom, like an earth-shaking boom outside in the fields. And Titania just looks at one of the paladins very quickly and orders him to go fetch Shakalin.
Ugh. Work.
Oh, more than work.
Mm.
And
Oh, they have the little anime battle.
oh yeah. And
Against an enemy we can't even see? This is the worst. Great, now he's got to do the second thing he hates the most. Run!
do you? Yeah. Nope,
Well, actually, no,
that's-
he's not gonna run. He's got a flying broom. Never mind.
He's got a flying broom.
Yup.
So
I honestly expect the flying broom, like, he rides it like it's like a skateboard.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god. Just loosely, like, moving it with his knees and his hips, arms folded behind his back. Paper's still flying everywhere, because those never leave it, but...
No, this time they're in his bag of holding. He wasn't suddenly called
Yeah.
while working on stuff that, like, required a lot of paper.
So, the paladin sent after Shakalin barely makes it to the antechamber door before lights just spring up throughout the court at the same time that the crystal panes on the walls shatter, and you are beset upon by a large number of celestials. And your first instinct is to run for the queen.
Oh, yeah.
As the battle quickly unfurls in front of you.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Do you know what this means? I can use Storm of Vengeance! Ah!
Where the hell was I? You
You were, as everybody's filing in, you were towards the front, but you are going to start anywhere within that green square that you choose.
Oh, over here?
Yeah, that green square is where you start.
Alright.
So I will say that after, like, the first big, like, boom sound, my guy would have, like, begrudgingly headed over.
Yes.
That sounds... So I don't know when he'd arrive in all this kerfuffle.
Gotta open the turn order. And you could start rolling me initiative. While I get the initiatives of literally everything else. I just clicked the word initiative, right?
You have to click the unit, and then just hit initiative.
Yeah, I already got
the
that part
page.
done.
So then, yes.
Okay, we got that. Now, which one?
Okay. I need to put my character on the screen. Where can I put them?
Anywhere within that green square. Do you think you make it there in speed for the first round? Is a genuine question I will ask you.
I don't know how big the castle is.
Well,
So
I would
tell me
say the party was going on for maybe a good 35-40 minutes before the boom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the party was going on for 35-40 minutes, then plus whatever time we took up talking. So if you were already archiving when we visited you in split mode, then I would say maybe it would have taken... How fast are you on that broom?
Let's see. When I'm carrying less than 200 pounds, It has a flying speed of 50. Yeah, it has a flying speed of 50.
So 50. Because the boom happened literally seconds before everything started going to shit. So I'm trying to work this out in my head.
Maybe like a turn or two?
Yeah, I think I'd.
Yeah, if you could agree to the turn or two, that's fine. Or you can roll me a fate to see if it'll take you one turn or if you'll be there instantly.
I feel like regardless, I wouldn't be there instantly, but I will roll a d20.
Gotta get 11 or higher.
No.
You will arrive at the end of the first turn.
That's fine. That gives you time to add the 8 woodland beings with me.
Can I give you 8 character sheets?
How about you give me 1, and they all have the same initiative?
That sounds fine.
It is a challenge rate, because I needed more, because I was doing a lot of work. It's just a challenge rating of 1/4 or lower. So they're not very strong.
Yeah, so I'll just... Characters, add character, this, edit, Shaylin, and in players' journals, Shaylin, and there you go, you have a sheet.
So these are all of the paladins, right?
Yes, the yellow icons are the paladins.
Okay. So let me see. Why can't I? So I can't move them.
You can't?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I have the mouse clicky thing that would let me click my character and move it like this. Them I do not have.
It is able to be edited and controlled by you.
Maybe because I'm not the one that put it out, thus it's not, like, mine?
That's really annoying. So, while she's doing that, do you really quickly want to, like, put dupe tokens over every single spot that they are, and then do the thing?
Sure. Because I was going to put on their, oh, jeez. Hey.
Yeah, just
calm down over
shrink
there.
one down. So we'll go through one at a time, and every time you go to place one down, I'll remove it and then delete it, and then we'll just go like that. In fact, you could shrink that big one down and then just copy-paste a bunch of times.
Yeah, why the heck isn't it?
Do you need help shrinking it?
I think so. Yeah, because it's not giving me the ability to shrink it, only to turn and move it. There we go.
So, I'm gonna move this up here, and you could just dupe it up there, and then we'll move. I think it might be easiest to go from left to right, top to bottom.
Alright.
So, I guess we'll start with this one. Oh. I'm just gonna move that. That's the one you can control, and then we'll move that back. I guess copy and paste it to the other one.
It's not letting me copy and paste anything.
Why is it being so weird?
I think because it's a DM only thing.
So, if I copy and paste that one, can you move it?
There you go. Yes.
Alright, let me get the one under it. And then we'll go with this one, these three right here. We'll do this quadrant.
Let me move the turn order.
Technical difficulties are fun.
Alright, well, I need you to paste it.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'll copy it, and then I'll paste all the tokens.
Ah, it's the sun!
It's Oberon! Yeah, I don't
Alright,
think you're gonna need the, yeah. And then... And then I got this one, okay. And this one down here, okay. And we'll move to the lower left quadrant. Oh, we moved them to the same space. Yeah, the circle didn't move. That one was there. Okay.
No, that one's where I put it.
Yeah, no, it was in front of that one, I remember. Only because I remember thinking, oh, it's directly in front. That'll be easy, really easy to remember. God, the circles are getting hard to distinguish now. This one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
We'll go for this one up here.
I'm pretty sure we...
No,
we did not.
Okay, now just move it over. This is fucked. Can you make the circle any smaller?
Well, I can make it smaller, but the whole point of the circle is the fact that they're paladins, so that's their aura.
Wait, no, this is a circle one, see?
Oh, well, okay, so then,
yeah, move that
It
there.
was right there.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh,
so
this
Rebel,
is fucking fun.
would you like for my guy to come in with 8 little dragons, or 8 goblins, or 8 blink dogs?
blink dogs, blink dogs, blink dogs!
We already did green quadrant, right? Okay. We can do the red
that's
quadrant last.
fantastic.
Oh.
I can just drag and I didn't have to input anything. This is great. It's fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna use the bathroom real
We still
quick
gotta
since
do this
I am
one.
not relevant at all right now.
Oh, this one? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just putting flashlights everywhere, don't worry about it.
No, you're fine. I chose the boring character. Does nothing but work.
So this is just the aura. What the hell does this aura even do?
Those are the different paladin auras, so... let me look before anything. Actually, they're up here a bit. So every friendly creature gets a +4 to their saving throws. Has resistance to damage from spells and cannot be frightened while within these flashlights.
Sorry, say that again? I was, like, zoned out just from the sheer amount of fucking light coming here. Did you move that to the proper space?
I didn't move it. Here we go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
we
sorry,
need a few more.
I really thought you'd just be able to control the token.
Yeah, I guess it's because I didn't put out the token for... I don't know why, for some reason, but who knows. Alright. We probably didn't need that many, but hey.
Delight!
I was like, oh, this'll be a very innocuous color, you know, yellow. I didn't expect it to, like, intensify when it overlaps.
Hold on. Okay, that is one. And don't forget the one in the upper right.
What one in the upper right? This one? Oh, fuck. I didn't even see that. That was off the screen for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I moved it over there. So it was down there. Last quadrant, right?
Yep.
Which one was which? Okay. And then last one in the lower right.
Yeah.
How many spares?
I don't know. That's on you.
Alright, that's their... So, first impressions! While we're waiting for Shay to get back.
I'm back.
First impressions while we're waiting for Shay to get back. What's the,
I like this so far.
Oh, are you changing the color?
Trying to.
Maybe I can help. Well, how do we do?
So you just go, you right click the token, and then you go to token aura, and you hit the, you go,
What's
and
the
I'm
tint
changing
color?
I'm changing it to gray so that we could probably see things better.
Cococo? That's the hex code for it.
Yeah,
C0,
Cococo.
C0, yeah, okay.
Cool.
And it's 30 feet?
Yep, it's the same. The length is fine. It's just the color might help. What happens if I do? Oh, you can set them to white. Interesting.
I feel like that would also bloom.
Yeah, I think a very innocuous gray.
Oh, wait, I didn't mean to set the tint color on one of the enemies.
Oh no!
Oh, it doesn't have a radius, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh! I
So bright.
didn't expect...
Like sucks.
I didn't expect this.
Me neither. When I was like, oh, we'll have one companion. It'll be a paladin. I didn't expect like 50 of them.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
that means I did my job, right?
Was your job to make me not expect things?
Isn't that the DM's job? To make things a surprise?
No,
It depends.
because surprises can be bad.
Is
Yeah.
this a bad surprise?
Like when Praxis drowned.
That was a good surprise. What do you mean?
No, that was a good surprise.
Oh
Not
god,
for
now
Praxis.
now it just looks like they're smoking.
What the
I
fuck are
don't
you looking
think,
at?
no matter what we do, it's going to be okay. So I think we're
You
just...
know what? It's fine as long as
I don't know what you guys are looking at.
How do you not?
Are you not looking at the map on Roll20?
I am.
Do you not see the tint?
No.
What, are you not? Hold on.
What tint?
Of all the auras.
No. Well, let me show you what I see.
Oh, can she not see the tent because she technically can't control them?
That might be it. So do you want her? Do you want Shay's eyes to just bleed?
We're not
This
doing
is
this
what
all
I
over
see.
again. We're not doing this all over again. I'm sorry.
No, not. I mean, if you just give her control, then she'll be able to see it as well.
She already has control. That's the problem.
Oh.
It's
Well,
literally
then.
because she didn't drag the tokens out, and because I'm the DM, I can see it.
Oh my god.
I want to see one of you guys take a screenshot.
Okay, can I take the screenshot?
Go, because I, have DM things open.
Yeah. Click right here.
So, just to refresh, Shay, you
Here you
failed
go.
the check, right? So you're coming in on turn 2.
Yeah, so
fucking
all of those gray circles, a lot of which are interlapping because smoke bombs apparently, is supposed to be the paladin's auras of like attacking. All right. So
All right.
they move first, right?
Oh no, because we replaced all the. Never mind. It's. Do you remember what the paladin's turn order was?
21.
Yeah, because I have to add it back in.
Oh, yeah, it was a.
Because if
21.
you do you see the turn order? Or is that just me?
I see the turn order.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
suddenly not in it because we had to delete every single token.
Yeah, so just hit one of them, hit initiative, and just put in the old value.
Yeah. That's what we do every
what
session that
I'm
we play.
doing. Ah. On Shay, if you can, just roll initiative for me. Just so we can have you in here.
Oh, okay. Let me roll initiative for all. I need my token on here to do it.
They share your initiative. We'll put your token on there in the antechamber, and we'll just put you in the darkness.
You know what? I'm fine with that. I am perfectly fine with that. I will place my token right here. Why did everything go black?
Because when it tells you to turn, when it asks you if you want to turn on Fog of War, it turns on Fog of War for everything, not the fucking thing that you told it to turn Fog of War on for.
Oh, so that's what Fog of War looks like for a player.
Yeah, you saw it in the forest. You added it?
Yeah, I did. You gotta sort by order, though. Much
Yeah.
appreciate.
I just did. So, let me give a quick rundown of how this is going to work. Your green square is the starting area. Shay, when you come into combat, you're going to start there and have to move towards wherever we move.
I'm sorry. None of that translated. Please repeat that.
The green square is where you start this battle.
Okay.
Down here.
Your only prerogative is to worry about what's in the red one. With obviously, that boss one that is called Aurelia, you have to get to her and basically kill her. Or die
Okay.
trying. The quadrants, in terms of mechanics, at the end of every turn are going to roll fate. And if the fate fails, one of those quadrants are going to fall. And you're going to have more enemies that kind of deal in. So the objective here, kill as fast as possible.
Alright,
And this is
So-
explained because as they are running in to the court and the battle starts taking shape, every Eladrin within the court hears Titania's voice in their mind. And you hear that famous Titania doublespeak.
give them hell.
For every single one of these traitors that you rid and spill the blood upon my court floor, I will make sure you continue to fight. So, if anybody else, they might not understand what they mean, but you, Eladrin, know what Titania means. And basically what she's telling you, for every single person you kill, or whoever kills, that individual will receive her boon and entirely have their spell slots and other token points restored.
Ah, sick.
Get a kill, come off cooldown.
Alright.
She is pissed.
And I, since I'm here, I can take charge of, can I take charge of the paladins?
Yes, it is their starting turn, so you could move them into whatever position, and you could have them just headlong into that horde in front of you. But again, you don't
Okay.
have to worry about any white quadrant. That's just
Okay.
basically like surprise boxes.
Well, so I guess I'll move these two forward. Right.
Oh, another
And,
caveat. If the fate rolls really well, that quadrant will fall for the enemy. And really well is going to basically constitute 18 or above. And then all of a sudden you'll have more paladins.
Yeah. So only these two are the ones that, like, aren't engaged, right?
Who?
These two in the green with us.
Yeah,
Me.
they are not engaged. They're your rush to combat friends.
Alright, so, these two are going to, they're going to run forward and using their Eladrin, divinity, they are both going to cast Steel Wind Strike.
I have no idea what Steel Wind Strike is, so teach me something new.
Steel Wind Strike is one of the coolest spells in the entire game, and it sucks that the only class that gets them normally is Rangers.
Ooh.
Don't worry, Eladrin have a fee.
Yeah, that's why I gave it to them. Within range of 30 feet. So, alright. So, considering the range of everything, another thing with these is this spell casts in the exact same radius as their auras.
Well, if you can tell me where the edge of that aura is, I'll go right with it.
I actually can. Because moving them around moves the aura around even before I set them in place.
You know what? For the sake of the argument, can you change the aura of those two that you're...
I will do that right now to something cool. Like a nice...
Let me just put Shay where she'd be coming out from.
a sick-ass purple.
The sick-ass Misty Step. Yeah, you're gonna come out of the right upper antechamber.
Can you do me a favor?
I can do you many flavors.
Take these two, and can you set them on the, like, most upwards layer?
Oh, so... to front.
Yes. Haha! Nice!
Nice, very nice.
Very nice! Okay, so these two are going to both cast Steel Wind Strike.
Don't know what that means. Learn me something new.
So they are going to,
Oh, you could put the...
oops.
So
That's
are the
me,
woodling...
but I don't have that.
Are the woodling creatures gonna all share a token, or are you gonna plop 8 of them down? 8 of the same token?
Oh no, they're all gonna share a token.
Fair enough.
Fluffball. Fluffball shares a token with my other familiar. I have a lot to do.
So
Yeah,
they're
no.
both, because both of the
I'll let you...
both of them are going to focus these 5 over, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this a enemy?
Hold on.
Like these right here?
I'm giving her more room to work with. Yes, those are minor angels. They are heralds of the heralds of faith, and they are commanded by squad leaders, which are the Sarah angels.
All right, so they're both going to Steel Wind Strike these 5 in front.
In the red quadrant in the box, right?
Yes. So these 5 right here. Let's make. Oop. Oops. I forgot to give a roll for that. Oops. That one doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't have an AC to hit, so I won't take that damage number.
That's fine. I messed up. Alright, so... Does 18 hit?
Just realize, the Heralds of Faith, we'll start with those first. 18 does hit.
Alright. For 40 damage.
Nice.
For 40 damage to these 4, right?
I mean, I guess if you want it, so it's supposed to make an individual attack against each target?
Yeah, so you're attacking all 5. So the Sarah Angel and the each Herald of Faith.
Yeah, do you want them to do that attack for the 4 that it applies to? Or should I just roll 5 times for each of them?
What do you think would be make the most sense?
I mean, like...
trust you to make an honest call.
I mean, by the rule of the spell, it's make a spell attack against each target.
So you'd roll that 5 times?
Yes, so it's 5 attacks for every time you cast the spell.
Where did... So I guess roll it 5 times and we'll see if it hits.
Alright.
And the rule of thumb will be going from left to right.
Left to right, and front to back?
From front to you to the backmost, yeah. So essentially top to bottom.
Yeah. Alright, so... for that middle one... 25 hit?
Give me a second, because I gotta quickly put in the, health values. So... 25 on which one? Sarah or Harold?
Because if we're starting from this one...
Right, yeah.
Yep. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I moved the thing out of the way. So which one's getting hit second?
This one.
That's the Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the first one that got hit?
This one.
Did I say right to left or left to right?
You said right to left. 1, 2,
okay.
3, 4, 5.
I meant left to right, but I will deal with it.
Oh.
So the first one got hit for 40 damage. Okay. I could do that math. And because I did the math backwards, we're just gonna arbitrarily move them over here.
Shuffle time.
Shuffle time. 25 does hit.
For 22 force damage.
Alright. And then... Come on, phone,
Another
open.
18?
Un momento. Because I'm not great at math. Um... 18 hitting the this one?
Mm-hmm.
18, I believe, hits. Didn't I just say? Yes.
Yeah.
18 hits.
Alright, so that'll be for 27.
For 27. I wish I was faster at this math. I'm trying to be as fast as I can. Alright, next one.
Whoop! 19?
That hits, and I'm assuming it's that one?
Which one? Yeah.
Hey, Rebel, how strong do you think our people are?
Well, we're level 20, so we better be.
Should I storm of vengeance would last 10 rounds?
Sure.
19 hits, so roll the damage.
Yep. 41.
Nice damage, nice damage.
And then for a 5th, going to... There's a 15 hit.
On the Herald? No.
Alright. And then the other one is also going to cast Steel Wind Strike, so we'll do this one more time. Second verse, same as the first. Oh, perfect. So, starting in the same order. 22?
22 on the top rightmost one?
Yep.
That hits.
For 38.
38.
Another 25.
Yeah, we're going second verse, same as the first. So now it's on to the Sarah.
Uh-huh.
Alright, roll me that damage.
32 this time.
Get big numbers, baby!
Yeah, you see why this spell's awesome.
Yeah. Wonder if Yala can ever take it.
She can.
I wonder if she knows about it.
She doesn't, but it's one of the few level 5 ranger spells, so,
Okay, next one.
17.
17... Yeah, that still hits. Right? It's meet or exceed, right?
Yeah, meet or exceed.
Yeah, Heralds have exactly 17. I'll give that information. Why did
Yeah.
that roll? Oh, it's roll. So it's just the
because of-
27, right?
Yeah, just a 27. As a spell, it does not crit.
Oh, spells don't crit?
No! Can you imagine how stupid that'd be?
It'd be great. What do you
Eldritch Blast, max upcast, plus crit.
Well, you can upcast Eldritch Blast.
I thought you could. Oh, yeah, well, I meant like the level dies.
Yeah, I mean, like, even then, that's only like 40 damage. Huh. An extra 40? I don't know. Because they each have to make individual rolls, so,
Bottommost right one, right?
yeah.
Yeah, just to double check.
Well, no, that was
one,
that
right?
was to the that was to this one. 'Cause
Yeah, I know,
the-
but now we're moving on to this one.
Oh yes, yes. Bada bing. Ooh! That one, it was like, oh, he missed, but I'm gonna get you.
So, I don't know.
How do
Do I
you
give
want to
you?
do that?
Do I give you something special because it's double nat 20s?
I mean, so here's the thing, that I would recommend you not do, but that's up to you because this is literally a fight against Titans. If we're going by the same crit rules, that means whatever damage this rolls, you're adding an extra 62.
I think, irregardless of whatever rules normally take place, if you roll double natties on an attack, spell or not, it should crit.
Crit. Alright.
It should not be wasted.
No wasted. Alright, for 87 damage.
87?
87.
Still alive!
Still alive. Yeah, I mean, like, I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then for the last one. Boop. 14?
And believe me, I am still alive. No, because remember, they have 17. I revealed that because you hit exactly 17.
I know, I just like to ask and not assume.
Hey, yeah, no, that's fine. No, this one's got a 29! So that misses.
Would we know if they have any like weaknesses or whatever?
Well, they're not immune to, they're not resistant to force damage, so.
Yeah.
You know, you said that, and I immediately started checking. So, because this is a big fight, and I need to, like, have less issues on my plate to worry about, obviously, and because you're a Ladrin, I'll reveal the information that because they're angels, you know, your normal standard angels, they don't really hit godlyhood. You know that they are resistant to radiant, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Both of them.
Okay.
So, if you hit with radiant, or the 3 physical damage types as, non-magic, then...
half damage.
It's half damage. So... it's pretty simple. I won't reveal your boss's stuff, though. You gotta actually start fighting her for that to happen.
That's fine. But the Pokedex says that we can hit them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, and I'm pretty sure those are the only ones I should be... and then as a bonus action, they're going to both use their decanters of endless water. No.
So, I will remind you of something. I'm going to remind you of something, and you're going to like this. So, the only 2 quadrants you have control over and can worry about are red and green, right? Or should worry about.
Okay.
There's 2 paladins in red.
Yes.
So, you have 2 more paladins to play around with. I didn't know if you realized that.
Oh, okay. I did realize that. I didn't know,
Because of your status, any quadrant where...
any quadrant that's not white.
Yeah, any quadrant that's not white, you don't have to worry about and you can control. Because functionally and lore-wise, you are basically helping to issue commands where applicable. So, you have control.
So then I will turn them purple as well.
Yes. Eventually, depending on how the battle goes, you might have to subdivide
what colors?
Your paladins into units. But, yeah, no, the going thing is you and Shakalin both control... you're both battle leaders. You essentially are their boss enemy.
Because I don't already have a small army.
Add to it. I'll be right back.
Alright, so then this one here is going to,
Second first, same as the first?
nope, because that's too many rolls and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna use the other, Legend Divinity spell I put in. I personally think I chose really good spells for these.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking, should I test the waters and see if they're weak to necrotic?
I mean, they probably, like, maybe not even weak, but they're still, you know...
Yeah, still take damage, so I could do, Blight.
And doesn't necrotic damage reduce max health?
No. We went over this.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I would, because that's what I read, and apparently everyone's like, no.
That's not how that works.
That would have been, admittedly, that would have been busted.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't work like that. Some necrotic spells do, but, like, that is not, like, a universal thing.
It's not a damage type application.
Yeah. Alright, and... shit, that's really big. Let's see, how much is... You know what? I'll say. Sorry. What are the? Would you say that these guys don't really consider friendly fire to be too big of an issue.
Oh. You don't want to start hitting them. Because I would say for ease of access, I limited how much of the land you had to focus on to a limited amount. But if we're talking about friendly fire and you start doing friendly fire, it's not going to make your allies start attacking each other, but I would consider it weakening them, and if you weaken them, you may put the quadrant at disadvantage.
True, but there is one thing about them that makes them really strong, is that technically all of them have a +5 to every saving throw. And I gave all, so they all have one-handed sword, long swords and shields. And their shields allow them to basically get evasion for area of effect saving throws.
Alright.
So
I like what you're putting down.
So this guy, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 enemies versus 1 Palibro. So both of these are going to cast,
Any chance you could draw the shape of the area I'm supposed to be looking at?
Oh,
I couldn't tell you why, but there's quite a number of circles in the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's got circleitis.
Oh shit! Legends are very weak to circleitis. That's.
Yeah. So basically, it's like from here to here.
So, draw shape. You're saying from where?
I got this. Boom. Are you able to make that out?
I can, in fact, make that out.
And then this one would be... So... here... to here. So both of them are going to cast... Pulse Wave.
Pulse Wave.
And so, if you want to roll for the dudes, because I'll roll for the paladins, see how they fare.
So, you want to do Heralds of Faith first?
Yeah, I guess because they're the mooks and they're going to be taking most of it.
So, how many? Help me count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 in the way of that for the Heralds of Faith.
The Heralds of Faith.
They're the darker
icons. One is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 3 of them will need to make 2.
So we'll start with the 3 that only need to make 1 first, which is this one, this one, and this one.
All right.
So
I'll roll for the paladins too.
What's the DC? Or it's a Constitution
it is a
saving
DC
throw.
18 con save.
And I just click Constitution? Because it's
yeah.
on the NPC stat block.
Yes.
So, 1, 2, 3. Only the first one gets hit.
So that was that one here.
Yep.
And I'll do it for the palindromes over here.
Palindromes.
Alright, so that's...
Oh.
Neither of them make it. Wait, is there anything that gives them advantage on saving throws, or is it just a bonus?
I don't know. You put that one together.
Gains a bonus to charisma, so that's +4. Let's do... No, it's just a bonus, so neither of them would make it. And do you want to roll for... I'll roll for the damage for both.
Roll for the damage for the one that gets hit, and then you could roll for the damage that the paladins take.
Well, no, because it'd be all the same damage, because it's an area of effect thing.
Right! You... Forgive me.
All good.
Like I said, a million things.
Do they have any actions they can use to get out of the area of effect?
Reactions it would have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I don't get to... Should I mobilize these guys out of the way?
They're in the white, so no.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like I said, if they get hit, it's gonna disadvantage the quadrant. A little, not crazily, but...
Yeah, I mean, they also have resistant against damage from spells, so... Whatever this'll do, they'll only take half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do both of them at level 3, so that's...
Because I'll break down the quadrants real quick for you quick. 11...
I guess...
11 up to
7
7...
first,
11 up
second.
to 17 is... It stays normal, it stays in combat. And then, like I said, 18 to 20 is you win the quadrant. But 10 and below... Or no, 9 and below. I'll give you another point. I'll let breaking even be just barely scraping by. 9 but below, the quadrant will fall. So it really is a crapshoot of how this battle is going to turn out.
Just a bit.
Which I thought was interesting, but we'll
Who knows?
see.
We'll see.
Mhm.
All right. So that would be for the guy on the left.
Yeah. What's that damage?
19.
19.
And
All right.
half.
And I'm gonna let you enter the stuff for them.
And half. So that's.
All right, that's been put in.
All right. So that goes from.
And that's for the first triangle, right?
The top one's for the first triangle. The bottom one's for the second.
Right. And then we also... So... Yeah. 150... Minus 22. I got 128.
Alright, so whoever so these two guys take half of the 22, so they only take 11.
Why do they
And
take
now-
half?
Because they passed.
Oh! Yeah, I did it as full damage, so they only take 11.
Yeah, so they only take 11, and this one takes the full 19.
Full 19, which I already did.
Yeah, and then
11...
you want to do these three.
Hold on, let me get the top ones sorted out. You coming in with those AoE attacks. I like it.
You asked me?
And you
Hey.
delivered.
I need you to make something, because you know a lot about magic, and here I am, knowing things about magic.
So these 3 heralds roll...
Twice.
Constitution, so we're gonna...
Yes.
Yeah.
So these 3 roll...
I'm gonna roll
twice.
6, and we're just gonna break it into 2 brackets.
Heading left to right?
Yep.
Alright.
First, second,
Fail,
third.
fail. So they all take the 19. Fail, pass, fail. And
So
now,
we're gonna
those are the
do this
22 and the 11.
Right. So we're gonna do that. So starting from this one, what's the total damage he takes?
So I'll just break it down for you here.
Eladrin Padrin. So it'd be 19 plus
There you go.
22, right?
Mhm.
Wouldn't it be 19 plus 22?
Yeah, that's 41.
Oh! I was reading that it was a math thing.
No. The dashes were just to distinguish, but, like, the positioning.
I'm in... So 41... 9, since the damage is the same for the far one.
Now I know how you guys feel when Nim does stuff.
Yes.
Well, for me, Nim. For Ed, Praxis.
No, Praxis' turns are very quick.
Oh, yeah. Praxis's turns are either, Praxis is unconscious,
That's not true. That
And
happened
or
one
takes it-
time.
or takes her shirt off, or Praxis runs up to a guy and scares the actual piss out of him.
Did a character actually wet themselves?
Yes, because Praxis ran up and drew like Zoro would draw a Z with his rapier. Praxis ran up to a dude and drew a P through his shirt, and the guy's like,
What the
was
fuck?
scared. Yeah, was just scared and then collapsed out of fear. It was really cool.
Wow. Anyway, so now we get to do the Sarah Angels.
Yeah.
So they each...
only get hit by 1.
So I just roll 4 constitutions, right?
Yep. And then I guess the first one will start with the left and the last with the right. So that's a fail. Fail, fail, save, fail.
Break the numbers
So
down
you're
for
looking
me.
at...
Alright. I gotta go grab another
And
drink.
we
I'll be right
haven't
back.
even gotten to
This is the
Ed's-
first turn!
It's the
Yeah,
first
I know.
turn, and it's not even your character.
You're right.
Tears on the inside.
Oh, I forgot to say the funny part, too.
What?
Oh,
Is it
you're gonna
gonna-
get a laugh.
Is
I
it
think
gonna
you're
be
gonna get a
funny?
I think so, yeah.
What? What's the funny?
Oh, this is a gravity spell. Which means every unit that fails gets pulled up to 15 feet closer to the caster.
Well, the 2 in front of that one paladin are gonna get pulled away.
Or they could get pushed. Let me read the description for it again. Yeah. Every creature that fails the save is either pulled 15 feet towards you or pushed 15 feet away, depending on the choice you made for the spell. Oh, decide whether the pressure pushes or pulls objects and creatures. Do you... I almost think pushing them would be funnier. And it'd also make more sense since they're probably trying to protect the queen.
Yep.
So them pushing things away would also, yeah, so everything that fails moves 15 feet forward.
Moves 15 feet forward or backward?
Forward. They're trying to push.
So if they're pushing, they're going away from you.
Yes.
Which means that
In whatever direction that they're like from you. So
from
this
you,
guy
they're
would-
going away.
Yes, I'm aware of what from you means. What I'm saying is, like, this guy would go here, this one would go here, to where this guy is. This guy failed, so he's now in this quadrant.
We'll deal with
This guy
that.
failed, so he's over here, in the lane.
In the Laven!
The Flavin!
Alright! Got them all! Now, for Aurelia.
Yes.
Damn.
Alright, so that is a 19 as well, and gets pushed back 15 feet.
Oh! Hold up. Wait a minute.
Hold up.
Forgot about that part.
Alright, so she saves and only would take the 9 damage and no push.
Yeah, so the ones who succeeded, no push.
Yes, the ones who succeeded, no push. The ones who failed, push. And you'll be able to tell who's who based on how much health they're missing.
This map is quite zoomed out. So half damage of that would be what?
Oh, it's 9. I've been listing it for.
Yeah, there's just so many fucking Constitution
There you
checks.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Jack.
Now hit the road.
Don't
No.
come back, motherfucker.
No.
So, who gets pushed, who doesn't? We know Aurelia doesn't.
Okay.
This one goes to
That
where?
one. No, push.
Yeah, but
Ow.
I can't see the grid lines.
So, okay, this guy goes here.
Boop.
This one goes here,
We'll do.
and the paladin goes here.
Boop. Boop. Now,
Um,
let's work from the bottom.
okay. This herald failed, so he's in here.
Boop.
Either or. And then he failed, so he's over here.
Boop.
Paladin failed, so he'd be here. I guess if you want to bump him into this guy, do what you must.
Can it be here?
Here?
No, no, yeah.
That
here.
works. There we go. Alright,
Then we've got this cluster and that one. I say let's take care of the Sarah. So
the Ceres Angel over here
over to
failed,
here?
so he moves. Yeah.
Yeah, and then God, this is a productive first turn.
Yes.
This one.
So they all failed at least one, so they would all get pushed. I don't know if you want to, like, double push any of them?
Well, if they got pushed once. Nah, I'll say that it was a joint concussion, so.
Yeah.
Because
it'd
there's
be at
not
the
60
same
feet
time.
left in the map to push them.
Yeah. So let's just say, so this one would be, I guess, like right here would be fun.
There.
This one would get pushed as
Here?
pretty much forward because it's stuck in between the two.
Yeah, and Aurelia will
Yeah.
just step to the side.
Yeah, as some dude just comes flying. And then this one probably like one of these.
One of these?
That works.
And what about these two Sarahs? Next to her.
The two Sarahs. The two Sarahs. This one gets pushed. This one passed.
So, no push.
So, this one stays.
Alright. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've changed the quadrant game quite a bit.
Yes.
Is it Revel's turn now?
Is it actually Rebel? Any bonus actions you feel like doing? You got anything?
So paladins do not have very good bonus actions, so no. Unless you want to ignore the rule where you can't cast 2 spells a turn, I don't think you want to do that because then we'll be here all night.
We're already gonna be here for a while. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm
True.
starting to expect we might go overtime.
Yes. This is how
One-shots work.
yeah. Well, no, this is how big combat works.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, you've turned yourself into the game engine of Total War.
Hey,
So,
I had plans for stuff like this later on. I figured the one shot would be a perfect place to dip a toe.
And hopefully you see that that's a mistake.
Dip, dip, dip a toe. I don't know. We'll see. Gotta dip, dip, dip a toe. Come on, just dip a toe.
Rebel, so what you want to do?
all right.
Does Fei Ling do?
All right, it's my turn. Yay, man. You know, that's good. I was getting so tired of waiting and not doing anything.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but I'm flipping you off right now.
Oh, I know.
I hope you do.
Alright, so I am going to...
Decisions.
I am going to... I'm going to move up right over to this angel.
Yeah.
Like very like staggeringly, just like go up to this angel. Like what look do they have on their face right now? As this just drunk stumbles into them during this like carnage.
Disgust.
So bitchy, I swear.
Good. And I am going to...
Immediately vomit on her shoes.
Yes!
She takes 1 million disgust damage and dies instantly.
Perfect. Boraicho wins again.
Oh, you
I
bitch.
have to...
That goes, you're gonna clean that up, right?
It is okay, sweetie. Get it out of your system. I will hold your hair back with vines.
Alright, so I am going to stumble forward. Still quarterstaff in hand.